This is Dialed In with Derek Simmons and Rachel Thorne. Let's talk compliance.
Welcome back to Dialed In. I'm here with Casey, and today's episode hit close to home for both of us.
Yeah, no kidding. We're talking about something I lived through the hard way. Trusting a vendor's "we're compliant" and ending up staring down $12 million in potential liability.
Right, and that story sets up everything today. Broken inputs, bigger broken outputs.
Exactly. AI doesn't fix your compliance gaps, it amplifies them.
So we're covering platform responsibility, the consent documentation failures that blow up in discovery,
The more dials myth that will get you spam flagged within 48 hours.
And we're closing with a 5-question framework you can use to audit any AI voice vendor right now.
If they can't answer in 5 minutes, walk away. Let's get into it.
We want to hear from you. Submit questions via the web form in the description or give us a call at 747-946-7602 and leave your question. Don't be shy. Our AI assistant makes it super easy. Let's talk more about the system is what matters.
Okay, real talk. 3 years ago, I was VP of Ops at an AI calling company. Great tech, fast growth, everyone was excited. Our vendor said they were TCPA compliant, and I just believed them.
Yeah, I've seen where that goes.
8 months later, we get a demand letter. Turns out their opt-out processing had a 48-hour delay. We'd made 16,000 calls to people who'd already said stop. I had to sit in a board meeting and explain $12 million in potential liability.
Because you trusted a compliance badge instead of a compliance architecture. Okay, so we teased the 5-question framework. Question 1 is foundational, and it's about record keeping. What does the platform actually store, and for how long?
Right, and this sounds boring until you're in discovery and someone asks you to produce 5 years of consent records.
Exactly. AI dialers are collecting names, numbers, transcripts, recordings, intent data. In regulated industries, that's a liability surface. And here's the principle I want everyone to internalize. If the platform isn't compliant, your company cannot be compliant. Full stop.
So what does compliant actually look like?
5+ years of transcript retention. Abandoned call tracking, because that's its own violation. $500 per call minimum.
Wow.
And clean, auditable consent records with timestamps and source documentation.
Okay, hard truth time, Jordan.
Here's where it gets dangerous. I've walked into discovery multiple times where a company is trying to reconstruct consent lineage from fragments across 3 different systems. The vendor says they're compliant. I ask for documentation. They send marketing materials. I ask for the actual audit trail. They go quiet.
I've lived that. I sat across from a sales rep, one of the bigger platforms, asked him to show me the consent architecture. He said, "We're compliant. It's in our terms of service."
That is not a compliance architecture.
I ended the meeting right there.
And that's the gap. Most platforms take customers' word on consent and have zero audit trail. When litigation hits $1,500 per willful violation, that math gets catastrophic fast.
So you need to verify, not trust.
Verify, document, then verify again. Now, all that said, you also have to actually reach people, which means we need to talk about what happens before the conversation even starts.
Spam flags.
Spam flags. Okay, so we've covered compliance architecture. Let's talk about something that trips up even well-intentioned operators: deliverability. Right, and this connects directly to compliance because a lot of teams think they're making calls when they're actually just burning a list.
Yes, and Casey's rule of thumb, burning a list is like burning a timeout. You don't get it back.
That's exactly right. So here's the reality. Dialing is not connecting. The only metric that matters is answer rate. And if Haya, First Orion, or TNS have flagged your number as spam, you can destroy an entire contact list before your campaign even starts.
I've seen this happen in 48 hours. Someone blasts a cold list with zero pretext, no warm-up, no sequencing, and their number is flagged. Done.
Done.
Right.
And once you're flagged, every call displays as spam risk on the recipient's screen. You're not just failing to connect, you're actively poisoning future outreach.
So what's the fix?
Different call purposes need different workflows. Speed to lead, aged lead reactivation, renewal calls, they all require distinct sequencing logic. You can't run the same playbook.
Wait, and this is where I see operators make the same mistake. They pick one workflow and just dial everything.
Right, and poor sequencing creates abandoned call exposure under the TCPA. Misfire enough times, you've got regulatory risk stacked on top of operational failure.
The more dials myth. Just dial more and you'll hit your numbers.
That's a $500 per violation strategy dressed up as a growth tactic.
Okay, so when we come back, we're giving you the actual framework. 5 questions that separate the real platforms from the ones that'll get you in trouble.
Let's do it. Okay, Casey, we talk consent, we talk list hygiene, we expose the more dials myth. Let's make this actionable. 5 questions, any vendor, before you sign.
Let's do it. Question 1, how do you document and store consent records, and can I access them during litigation?
If they hesitate, that's your answer. Question 2, what's your opt-out propagation time? Not immediate. Give me the actual SLA.
Right, because 48 hours is what cost us $12 million. Question 3, how does your platform handle Haya, First Orion, and TNS flagging? What's your remediation process?
Because if they say we don't get flagged, that's a sales rep, not an engineer. Question 4, can your workflow sequencing handle separate logic for sales versus service versus re-engagement calls?
And that one matters because, well, you said it, Jordan, different call purposes need different compliance tracks. Question 5,
Was this platform built by people who've actually run phone sales operations?
yes, that's the one. Because there's a massive difference between a platform that sounds human and a platform that converts. One was built for a demo, the other was built for Monday morning.
Here's my final warning. The platform you choose, that liability is yours too. Shared. In writing.
If your vendor can't answer all 5 in under 5 minutes, they haven't built for compliance. They've built for the pitch deck.
Next episode, we're getting into state-level mini TCPA laws that are quietly rewriting the rulebook in 2026. Some of these make federal TCPA look gentle.
Oh, it gets worse. Great.
It always does. Thanks for being dialed in.
Okay, Casey, that board meeting story is a powerful reminder of just how much opportunity there is to get this right from the start.
Yeah, and honestly, the organizations that do get it right, they're building something really durable. That's the competitive advantage nobody talks about enough.
Exactly. And that's what makes this space so exciting. When AI meets a well-structured system, the upside is enormous. You're not just protected, you're positioned.
So,
if today's conversation got your wheels turning, subscribe and share it with your team. The more people thinking this way, the better.
And if you want to see what Compliance First actually looks like in practice, head over to 2x.solutions.ai. Real architecture, real documentation, real defensibility.
All right. Thanks for being dialed in, everyone. We'll see you next time.